Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Ash. She's actually a student from, is it SCU or is
SCU,
there
yeah. So
SCU?
there's
Okay.
also an AKA, we call it LACC for shorter, because it's
LAC.
SCUHS.
And that school is located in the LA area,
Yeah, Whittier.
correct?
hmm
Yeah. Okay. And Ash here is on her, is it seventh trimester out of 10?
Yes, that's correct. Term
Yeah.
seven. Mhm.
Okay. And you are already like treating patients within the clinic?
Yeah,
Am
so
I?
this term was our first term of seeing patients. So I'm in
Yeah.
the sports med clinic. We had a white coat ceremony a couple months ago, and we pretty much just take the oath so we can see patients under the school's license, pretty much.
So tell me about, I guess, why you chose SCU and what your experience has been up to this point.
So I actually live in San Diego, so my main goal was to find a school nearby. But
Hmm.
there's no Chiro school around San Diego, so the closest thing was LA. And like I mentioned to you earlier, I was looking at Cleveland because that was also in LA,
Yeah.
but they were no longer there. They're just purely in Kansas, I believe. So
Mm.
then I looked up SCU, and they have a great sports emphasis program, and that's what I mainly wanted to do or still want to do is sports. So I applied, reached out, and yeah, I got accepted. So I just went there.
You obviously fall into the time when it was like COVID, so a lot of schools are making different adjustments. How was it for you during that time? What was a class structure like?
Yeah, so when I applied, like you said, it was during COVID season. So I thought that, hey, maybe I'm not going to grad school. Uh, I was in contact with my, what's it called? Your counselor or
Hmm.
your admission. He said, oh, yeah, the DC program is still live. You're just going to be doing Zoom for a couple terms. So we ended up doing Zoom for like our first two terms, and then it was hybrid with some on campus and then some Zoom for our third term. And I'm actually still kind of doing that. It's more half Zoom, half on campus, which I prefer because, like I said, I live in San Diego, so my commute is a bit of a problem.
Because chiropractic is a hands-on profession. Do you feel like that may have affected like how confident you are in treating patients, palpating and adjusting, or do you feel like you had adequate education during that time?
So the school kind of planned it really well for us. Our Zoom classes are mainly our our lecture that don't really require hands-on. So
Mhm.
our on-campus are mainly our hands-on skills. So we I believe we still, at least in my opinion, I think we still get the experience that any other student would have got if we were just full time on campus.
Mhm.
So at first we thought we were going to fall behind because of our special schedule due to COVID. But
Mhm.
right now, I feel like we have a great set of doctors on our on campus classes. So, I mean, you can ask all the different doctors to see how they practice and how they apply their skills, and you just learn from each one of them.
Okay. Are you able to, or have you made any efforts to maybe like shadow or visit doctors outside of campus, maybe in San Diego or in the LA area?
Yeah, so our school has something called SFO. I don't know if you guys have it too. It's like student field observation.
Okay.
So they have a list of doctors we can shadow or intern for. So when we were able to do SFO, I reached out to a doctor in San Diego, and I've been with him since probably term five.
Hmm.
So I'm almost there for a year, I believe. So I've been with him and just learning or shadowing him and learning how he works. And I'm able to apply whatever we learn from SCU into his skills.
Mhm.
And it really helps with like boards or class exams and stuff like that. But right now I'm also interning for the school based on our clinic rotation. So
Okay.
I'm in both San Diego and Whittier.
Nice. Right. And then you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I believe you just finished part four of boards. Yay. Can you talk a little bit about the board process? What are your strategies you might have used to study for them?
So I have not done part four boards. I've only done part one and PT boards. So
Oh,
I
okay.
still have two, three, and four. Yeah. For part one boards, I mainly studied Chiro Essentials, which is
Yeah.
a textbook. You've heard of it?
Yeah.
And then also there's this book called MBC Part One and Two. It's a green book off of Amazon. I don't really remember the actual name of it. And
Hmm.
you just do like practice questions towards the end. And then we also have something called like a ring gold review, and that really helps as
I've
well.
heard of that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just being more exposed to practice questions. I think that really helped. And I'm pretty sure the NBC website has practice questions available as well.
All right. And as far as, I guess, looking forward towards graduating and beyond, are you planning to practice in San Diego, maybe go towards LA, stay in California, go somewhere else? What are your thoughts on that so far?
So right now I'm kind of keeping an open mind. It's just whoever makes me an offer and what the best offer is, right? But my goal is to stay in San Diego. I do not want to be in LA because of the whole LA traffic and all that.
Mm.
But I mean, if the place is right, the price is right, then there's probably no reason for me to deny a great opportunity in LA. But like I said, I've always been in San Diego. I'm hoping that I can get a job here. If
Hmm.
not, then we'll just hope for the best and see where I land.
Okay. Do you have a general idea of what the chiropractic population is like in San Diego? Are there a lot of chiropractors maybe like looking to retire and selling a practice? Are there no new chiropractors popping up? Have you got a little feel for that?
So the chiropractors that I've met here in San Diego are fairly young. I don't think they're looking to sell their practice, but
Mm,
I've only really talked to maybe four docs, maybe five, and they're all
yeah.
really young. Um, so that I don't know.
Okay.
But if they are, hey,
Yeah.
I will look it up and I'll let you know. Why are you trying to come to San Diego or what?
It's more of a curiosity because I'm actually originally from Arizona and I'm going to school in San Jose. And I always like, hey, I'm just gonna keep my mind open to see what opportunities are there. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option if time comes.
Are you more into sports or what are you focusing on?
I see. Initially, when I started, I was like, yeah, I think I want to do sports. But now that I've kind of had a more like rounded experience with different chiro offices, I think it's I could still focus on sports and treat athletes, but I've seen the value of like just seeing the general population, whether it's from like pediatrics to geriatrics and in between. So I think there is a lot of room and a lot of space to help anyone and everyone.
So you want to work with kids, huh?
I actually used to work at a preschool and I used to teach PE. So working with kids is not nothing new to me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So a little tidbit about me. I was actually going to ask, you do a lot of physical activity. I see that you do a lot of like working out, weightlifting. Do you feel like that's something that's helped you with Cairo school being like disciplined to work out every day or almost every day?
Well, before Chiro School, I was always, 6 days out of the week at the gym. And
Mm,
so now, because of Chiro School, I'm there maybe, well, at least this term, I'm there maybe 3 to 4 times a week,
hmm.
days out of the week. And whenever I don't go to the gym, I feel really lazy and I can't study.
Mm,
So for me, is sticking to my regular routine before Chiro School is really important to me because that's my flow and that's my routine. So I don't want to change anything because, hey, I have this assignment due plus this quiz and this exam. But also, like, I need to realize that I can't just be in my room. Like, you need to go out, get some fresh air, get a
hmm.
workout in, and get those endorphins going. So, because I'm in Chiro School, though, I am a little bit smarter with my lifts. So I'm not
Mhm,
pushing my body to like, in other words, I'm listening to my body,
mhm,
Like today we were supposed to, well, this week we're maxing out our lifts, and I really wanted to hit 160 jerk, but
mhm.
I felt my shoulder kind of like knocking out or giving out on me. So I kind of just dropped the bar instead of fighting it and trying to hit the lift. So staying healthy is important, but it's also lifting smart, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Finding that balance and then make sure you're not too sore or too hurt the next day to get distracted from your
Well, I
studies.
don't know about the whole too sore because I'm already sore right now. But I mean, it's a perfect way for my peers or the students at my school to practice because I'm not always hurting, but I'm always sore and I need
Mhm,
treatment. So it's a
mm.
perfect way for them to practice on me and I get free treatment. So it's a win-win.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What are some things that you like to do? Maybe some hobbies, some things to keep you sane.
Well, I mean, I have two blue healers, and those are really active dogs.
Mhm.
So I really like to spend time with them, mainly go hiking. The beach is our go-to because I just live like 2 minutes away from the beach. So we just
Nice.
walk down there and I let them run around. They chase the birds, and I just listen to like podcasts, music, or I'm listening right now to an audio book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I've heard
Have
about it.
you
Yeah.
have you read the book?
I haven't read it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not really good with finance or how credit works or how taxes work. So I'm kind of just trying to learn more about it, especially if we do want to open our own practice. I just want to
Yeah.
get more familiar with how um, taxes work or how owning a business work.
Right, right.
Um, so yeah, I would say reading books, but I don't really have the time to read a book right now. I just
Yeah.
kind of pop open whatever textbook is required for one of our classes.
Mhm.
Um, like for example, we have differential diagnosis two, and that class is pretty tough. So if you don't read the book, you're gonna fail the class. So
Mm.
I also enjoy paddleboarding, but I don't really have the time to go out and paddle. Yeah,
Yeah.
mainly right now it's coffee shops, my dogs, and the gym and school, of course.
Nice. All right. So my last question here is, how would you describe chiropractic? Or I guess the question would be, what is chiropractic?
So chiropractic to me is just understand listening to your patient, understanding their root of pain, their pathology or their diagnosis, and just taking little steps to treat them and provide wellness to their care and stuff like that. Was
Great.
chiropractic for you?
Oh, you're flipping it on me.
Well, I feel like honestly, a lot of people think chiropractic care is just cracking and by, crack this and I'm good. No, to me, it's more than just cracking a joint or cracking a person. It's more about like, okay, do you actually need an adjustment or are you just here because you want one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very hands-on approach that is lacking in a lot of other health care professions, which is weird because like that's the best way to feel for anything that's maybe out of alignments or something that's just off in general. It's like, hey, I really feel it here. And then you could get the same feedback from the patient as well. I
Yeah.
also I've heard one time that chiropractic is very helpful in terms of like allowing the body to heal. Because the body, for the most part, could heal over time, but you're giving the right tools for it to heal faster and in a better manner as well. Guess what's your social media handle where people can
Okay,
follow
so
and find you?
I mainly use Instagram. So my Instagram is my first name, last name underscore.
First name,
And
last name,
then
underscore.
yeah. And then that page has my DC page as well.
Yeah. And I'll also post it down below as well. All right. I appreciate you for coming
Awesome.
in today and doing this interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully I'll see you next Cal Chiro event.
We shall.
Peace.
Peace.